to one series. It'll be very exciting. Now, I do have a little bit of data on some of these teams. Now, both paiN and Spirit, they love to play Sand King.
Yeah, it's going to be first picked. Probably the Razor you were talking about, Lumi, is already out. Team Spirit seems like they are ready. They banned 3 heroes in just a couple of seconds. Also, for the paiN gaming, they are playing with a stand-in. They're playing with V. I think this is the first time, actually, that the European is playing in South America.
You don't count Jimmy. Jimmy's like a Mr. International man, so he counts for every region.
He's in the same bracket as Black.
Fair enough.
All right, the Wish Doctor going to be snapped up here by Team Spirit, so they are going to be grabbing up that healing support that you were talking about, Lacoste. Not really revealing too much about their draft so far. I think the interesting thing, though, is that if paiN Gaming get first pick, they love to pick up the Tiny, but this game they're actually banning it out versus Team Spirit. Is this an indicator of anything?
Team Spirit first picked Tiny in all of their matches. Not very successful. They ran it mid and off lane. Tiny is one of the heroes that is super versatile. You can also run it as 4 if needed.
Gonna have to wait for this next pickup here by paiN Gaming now. Looking at paiN Gaming, as we were talking about, they both teams love to run Sand King, so Sand King probably in the books here for paiN Gaming. They've also played Clockwork, Enigma, I believe obviously Tiny as well. Sand King gonna be grabbed up really quickly by paiN, followed by an Ancient Apparition.
Tusk is in the pool. They should get it. That's the most contested hero in pretty much every region.
You're talking about your Team Spirit here?
Yeah. But most of the time, Team Spirit bans it out, so I'm not sure if they have a player for it.
I don't think they actually played Tusk that much, so...
Team Biver, Biver played Undying. I believe he also played the Sand King. Have we seen him play anything else?
It's definitely not their first choice, for sure.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Just Sand King.
See what this next pickup's going to be. Here it is. It's going to be the Earth Spirit, so roaming Biver, Earth Spirit. This fits his playstyle really well. We've seen that Team Spirit, they love to roam Biver. He loves to win those lanes for his teammates. And I think in particular, they need to prioritize DK Phobos' lane. We saw that in their last set, that they set Biver in the off lane with DK Phobos on the Undying. They needed to prioritize that Brewmaster lane. They didn't win that game, I believe. But the idea is that you can tell that for Biver and DK Phobos, they probably work very closely together.
That's true. This is a really weird picks and bans so far. No Omni Knight, no Tusk pickups. They survived both the second banning stage. I mean, they can't pick Tusk anymore. Omni was still pickable.
10 seconds remaining.
Sand King NA and AA opening is really strong. Newbie loves to run it. That's the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I see it. The combo is so good, you have a guaranteed stun.
Still have a Lycan in the pool. We saw it in the last game just now, and kind of crazy. Broodmother going to be the choice ban here for paiN. Now, Team Spirit, do they let that Lycan through?
I mean, Lycan is one of the heroes that you can somehow always sneak in. Really strong laner because of the natural reach he has, plus the items he built also provides him more region. We've seen in the previous game how deadly it can be. They took down all tier 2 towers in 15 minutes.
Let's not forget the illusion-based meta we've sort of visualized at Galaxy Battles, both Terrorblade.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Enigma. I've played it at least Galaxy Battle. adding elements, that black hole.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Opens up also the paiN, which is not bad.
It's actually ridiculous. How on spiders and
they need some. None of these super. So they might want to go for. Right? They might go for lane that.
Radiant team pick.
Lycan.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
On Enigma, no matter even if it has have a good comp to Doctor, they need the range.
Or like it's a low.
Yeah, but with Doctor plus one mid hero, have enough. You don't up for bow. Trying to make it work, but
Dire team pick. Queen of...
The paiN going to be picked up by paiN Gaming, so it looks like that'll be their tempo controller, leaving their carry to that last pick. Now, if you are paiN Gaming, do you consider someone that's going to be a heavy carry, or do you go for a semi carry and finish this game early versus Spirit's lineup?
I think you need something that could scale late. They have the possibility already Enigma, but I think also one other checkbox you need to tick is you need somebody to stand in the front line, because so far right now all of these heroes are really incapable of tanking up in the front, especially against the Lycan damage that he could dish out.
What picks could we actually see here, low cost? What fits into their draft?
they need a hero that can sustain in the mid lane against the Queen of paiN. Doesn't necessarily need to be a super early hero that can provide much team fight.
Yeah. Interesting choice for Team Spirit. Going to be going back to their roots as they are Team Spirit. Not much disable on the side of paiN Gaming. They've only got the Sand King Burrow Strike to really catch him out. Black Hole if they can get that onto a Storm, but in most circumstances that shouldn't happen unless there's the setup. So is Spirit, do they feel safe running the Storm Spirit here? Is there a reason why it's a 4th pick and not a 5th pick? Because Storm hasn't really been banned this tournament.
I think they want to protect DK Phobos' pick till a little bit later. Unfortunately, they don't have the ultimate final pick anyway, so regardless if they pick it here or on the 5th pick, there is 1 pick left for paiN Gaming to counter anyway, so I don't think there's too big a difference. paiN Gaming will take out the Darkseer, which honestly there's not too much combo play apart from the Earth Spirit kick.
No.
Yeah,
so I think Void is out since they picked out Storm Spirit, so they might go for something more traditional. Something like a Batrider to start the fight with.
Sure.
They need more control.
5 seconds remaining.
Waiting for
Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Venomancer.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Phantom
You may now
Lancer.
select your heroes. Prepare for battle.
Elimination game, another game where everything rests on the shoulders of an it has to be a great game from the if Team Spirit want to win.
So you're relying on Storm Spirit. You don't think DK Phobos, because I feel like every time I see him on Venomancer, he's able to make a lane for himself, able to find that farm. He, to me, is a game changer for Team Spirit. You think if he has a good lane, is he going to be able to do enough for Team Spirit if maybe that Storm Spirit doesn't have that perfect lane?
DK Phobos is, I never have any doubts about him. He's proven himself to be the most player on Spirit throughout this tournament and throughout their qualifier runs and whatnot. The problem is that Venomancer is not a game. Venomancer is lane-winning hero, absolutely, which is why I'm not too concerned about him and his 10 tangos, no doubt dominating this lane. The problem is that you progress as later and later on into the game, and Phobos isn't able to, he's not going to stun people, he's not going to keep this Queen of Pain under control. Enigma can easily transition into a pipe if he desires.
That are going on at the moment. We've got bottom, we've got a tri-lane for HFN on this Phantom Lancer. Self a little bit of help from Duster as well as King RD up against Biver on the Earth Spirit, and then DK Phobos, of course, on this Venomancer. So it seems like they just don't want to give DK Phobos this open lane, and they've got the Burrow Strike to start it off onto this Venomancer, slowing them down. Rolling Boulder's not going to be out in time, and there's the first blood already for the side of paiN Gaming.
Chilling touch with a tri-lane, terrifying to go up against. HFN with the Lance slow, King RD. Boots and a Burrow Strike, down goes the Phobos Venomancer.
Yeah, and they're trying to actually think about going up on him again, again they throw the Spirit Lance through. There's the Burrow Strike to follow it up. The Rolling Boulder comes out, but it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. And there's the kill for Duster. So right away, 2 kills for the side of paiN Gaming in this bottom lane.
Biver ever so briefly left, wanted to maybe get some more information on the other sides of the map, but Sand King did not go anywhere. He continued staying in this lane, and yeah, another kill goes down for Venomancer, and worst part is, no TP scroll. All these branches, all these tangos are useless because homie's got to walk back with 279 move speed to this bot lane.
So right away, they're already harassing DK Phobos just so much, but is that enough open space for ILTW right now for the Storm, or is it really just not matter?
that's part of the reason why they're giving so much attention to Phobos, because the Queen of paiN Storm Spirit matchup is not really that big of a concern for the Queen of paiN. Like, if you rotate on Storm Spirit, you can probably get kills, which is why King RD ever so briefly transitioned mid lane just a few seconds ago and actually meets a rolling Earth Spirit, but Viper ends up getting the bounty run. But King RD, you know, he's got boots, he's still level 1 right now, and usually that's a bit of a setback, but Storm Spirit's a pretty slow hero, and if you're able to pour some damage into him, if he's able to chip down the Storm Spirit, then you can definitely get a kill with just a Burrow Strike.
Bottom, a little bit of a kick, pushing King RD back as they've already gotten themselves 2 kills over bottom. Is that enough to maybe move this Sand King or the Ancient Apparition to another lane to help out, or do you just want to keep being aggressive over bottom?
Both of them have their straight out of the base TP. They're in no rush to go anywhere. Right now, they're getting some pull experience. Right now in the top lane, you know, Enigma's having a grand old time. He's got stacked camps. He's seen Witch Doctor's not really that effective at zoning out in Enigma because you have to Eidolons, so they've got nothing better to do other than go on bot again as Venomancer gets stunned, gets killed.
They actually continue to go in on to Bibber. There's the chase. They've got this Burrow Strike in just a moment, but there's Kofi coming through. HFN onto the lane. Burrow Strike a little bit short, but not going to matter. HFN cleans him up, and it's a double kill here for the Phantom Lancer.
Oh god, Duster. The creeps. Brutal lane for a Venomancer. This man has not been able to eat any of his regen yet. He was not expecting this level of aggression. Like, normally, Sand King, whenever we see Sand King or Ancient Apparition, they're usually relegated to maybe like a... But this mid lane matchup, it's a classic mid lane matchup, one that we haven't seen very frequently in this tournament because everyone's too busy off lane here, defending core. But it's standard 1v1 mid, which means that Sand King and Ancient Apparition, they'll continue helping out this Phantom Lancer. Make sure that this Phantom Lancer has probably an early Battle Fury. I hate to say it. I used to always say early Diffusal Blade. But this game, I think Battle Fury is probably the best option.
Times are changing. He's going to be going for that Battle Fury, but they continue to harass out DK Phobos, which it just seems like they don't care about the Storm right now. What they care about is getting DK Phobos down, as he always seems to be the game changer for Team Spirit. And if they're able to shut down the Venomancer or get a good lane for the Phantom Lancer, I mean, does that transition into them just being able to take care of this Storm?
Yeah, it'll be whenever we wants to go. Right now, we is content just going farm to farm, toe to toe, like they're in the mid lane right now. If anyone wants to mix it up, it will be paiN game. And Witch Doctor is getting a fair amount done. No, he's not getting kills, even though he's not really zoning out the Enigma, getting pull. Witch Doctor with levels is always valuable.
So disconnecting is this Enigma Tavo, who is having not exactly an amazing lane, only 8-9, but
1v2. What do you expect from the man?
Expect every Enigma off lane to do amazing.
No. That was in the era of Iron Talon. That item is gone. On the flip side, the poor man's shield is gone, so Eidolon's a little more useful against the enemy laner. So Enigma's in a comfortable spot as far as I'm concerned. And Kezu in that previous game, that immediately eliminated out about the viability of the...
Looks like we're ready to go. We're underway here. 4-0 lead for paiN Gaming to start it off just 3 minutes in. And they're looking real good early to a point where I kind of worry about Team Spirit in this game as a whole. I just don't know if they're going to be able to hold through this early game, and it comes with so much aggression from paiN Gaming overall in all these lanes, it seems like.
Yeah, the draft was mainly skeptical about what would happen in the late game situation. They're pretty good laners. Like, Earth Spirit is a fantastic roamer, probably better than Sand King, but Viper has not had an opportunity to roam because he's been so married to this bot lane with Phobos that Phobos doesn't get completely destroyed. And too late, damage has been done. Phobos is like, well, I just have to jungle now. I hit level 2. I can't do anything. I can't go back to the lane anymore.
DK Phobos stuck in the jungle, but I feel like I see this more times than not from him, and he's still able to make something happen. But over, take a look. We've got Duster here, King RD smoked up, ready to go on over mid. ILTW, however, is going to back off, so it doesn't look like this smoke's going to turn into anything just yet, but coming around is Bibber. He might be putting himself in a bad spot, or possibly a good counterplay. Top, they take a look. FNG spots King RD. They try to get back, and no Burrow Strike to start it off.
Right now, HFN was farming with no one in his lane, and that can mean two things. Either the Sand King and the Ancient Apparition are looking for the Venomancer in the jungle, or they're rotating on the mid lane. And seeing as how Venomancer has the high ground advantage, and he didn't see anything, Storm Spirit thought it wise to back up. But paiN Gaming are still so willing to be aggressive, they still rotate the Earth Spirit and the Witch Doctor to the mid lane just to protect the Storm.
Just an open lane right now for HFN over bottom. I mean, once he gets his Battle Fury, he's going to be able to farm up like crazy. Do you really want to give him an open lane? Do you have to give him an open lane with the kind of start they had?
Yeah, we'll see where HFN goes with this, because actually he ended up finishing off an Aquila, and Aquila is typically skipped if you're planning on going for the Battle Fury build. One of the biggest perks of Battle Fury is you get ridiculous amounts of mana regen for carry, and have that kind of luxury of building items. So sticks with the Aquila, and early Diffusal Blade would mean that Wii has more potential to be aggressive early on, and they can be more early game combat and make sure that this Lycan doesn't get an opportunity to... Illidan's been keeping up the pace with the Phantom Lancer. Even though Lycan hasn't been getting kills necessarily, he's still getting plenty of farm. Yet again, we're seeing a Wolf heavy build as opposed to what seems to be the more recently favored Howl and Feral Impulse build.
Top of the CS chart right now is this Phantom Lancer as well as the Lycan. Lycan also having a pretty easy early game. Which hero between Lycan and Phantom Lancer benefits the most from these easy lanes?
If Spirit can make space for the Lycan, then Lycan definitely benefits from it, because the anti-push from paiN Gaming isn't exceptional. Sand King doesn't really have the most levels, and then we can pop down a Midnight Pulse and an Eidolon, but more often than not, a Lycan will just be willing to just push with his wolf. He creeps around. That happened in the bot lane. I keep assuming that Phobos is like, you know, I'm gonna just stick around in the jungle, but no. paiN Gaming refused to let up the aggression. Poor Biver, man. He keeps coming down here, and he wants to go roam mid. He wants to go roam top. It's just never happening.
They're actually going to chase on over top. They've got the cast coming out on King RD. He's chased by Illidan, who's used that ulti, locks him in, but there's the Burrow Strike under this tower. We'll see if Taba comes over. He is level 6, possibly looking for Black Hole with Weehaw now making the rotation. They finally take out the Sand King, so I don't know if they really want to look to chase. They find this courier for just a moment, might be able to kill it actually. Link on over to FNG. They do kill the courier, and there's the Black Hole coming out from Tabo for this Witch Doctor. Seemingly a little too much, in my opinion.
What are you talking about? You don't want to put that Witch Doctor in a 7-second respawn timer? I think that seems absolutely worth it. Weehaw gets another kill, and that kind of Black Hole means that they're not scared about Spirit at all. Storm Spirit has had, you know, an okay game, but Storm Spirit does not come online for a few more minutes. And if you have Eidolons, you have Weehaw up here, and you want to transition into a push, then go ahead and commit the Black Hole and get that Witch Doctor out of there.
Looks like they're converging on the spot of Illidan, and now with King RD coming over, they might have the Burrow Strike to work with. There's the Glyph coming out, and the snare comes through from Illidan onto the Sand King, stopping him from going down. You take a look on over towards the top as FNG's looking to come over too, but he's just hit so hard. Now the Storm Spirit comes in to lock down Weehaw. They should have the damage to kill him off, and they will. Nobody here for the side of paiN Gaming to really back up this Queen of Pain.
Weehaw perhaps feeling himself a little bit too much. It was just a Witch Doctor initially, but then your heroes materializing and aggressively as a Queen of Pain with only 1 point in dangerous call. Storm Spirit.
CW continue to go in onto Duster. He's got the cold feet on him. He's going to freeze over. Now King RD's here, ready to get that Burrow Strike, but there's nice silence from this Earth Spirit, keeping alive their Storm Spirit.
Brothers in arms. Without that silence, Storm Spirit was definitely going to go down, and ILTW is feeling the pressure. Pre-Kaya, this is pre-point booster, pre-anything. He just has a Null Talisman, treads in a bottle, and you find it necessary to go for these movements because Weehaw's being very mobile. Mash this movement. Spirit can't sit around. It's not like a Death Prophet where you're like, okay, the enemy mid laner goes away, then I'm just going to go take their tower. That's not what a Storm Spirit can do.
Just left HFN open this entire time. They haven't, paiN Gaming haven't been fighting with HFN. He's just been continuing to farm and getting closer to that Battle Fury.
Oh, but HFN's doing plenty of fighting, getting more and more kills on Phobos in the meantime, so I think he's handling the situation perfectly well. And he's sitting on a Quelling Blade and Perseverance, so it does look like he is going to finish off the full Battle Fury.
LTW not with that Kaya yet, and he is looking to fight. You think that's the right move by him to just continue to try and force fights here, or try to force positive engagements for himself, or does he really need to wait to farm that Kaya as well as maybe for that next item afterwards before he really wants to go in on paiN?
Ideally he would like to farm, but his interest right now is banking on Illidan's Lycan. If you can make space for Lycan, right now he's getting burrowed on, and there's no black hole available, but there is quite a bit of damage. Out.
They aren't able to come up just yet. They've got FNG here, maybe thinking about going on King RD, but they aren't going to let try to go in on Sand King, maybe get baited into a fight that they don't want to take. Right now you see weehaw continuing to farm up. He's looking for that Orchid. You've got the Phantom Lancer getting closer and closer towards that Battle Fury. But for the other side, on the side of Team Spirit, you take a look at the Lycan. He's now going for the Necro Hook, picking up that Helm of the Dominator first, and then of course, still that Kaya for ILTW. Actually freezes over mid, and now you got weehaw going in, possibly to go in on that Storm Spirit, but he's got the haste and don't make the commitment just yet. You have that ulti from weehaw to possibly hit on the ILTW. But
he was dancing around there. He actually like willingly let the cold feet proc. It's possibly that he was just baiting, seeing as how he had a haste and bottled. He thought he could get out of the situation. ILTW, like the problem with Team Spirit's power spikes is that like the first set of items are not as valuable as items, because like King RD is working his way to a Blink Dagger. He's about 1,000 gold away. Phantom Lancer is working his way to that Battle Fury. He's going to have it pretty soon. Orchid is going to come out for weehaw, and we'll see what Enigma opts for. He doesn't have anything queued up, but he's sitting on 1,500 gold, and you know, Blink Dagger would be fine. If he wants to go more utility, like I mentioned earlier, then you know you can go for Greaves, for a pipe if you find it necessary against the Venomancer, but seeing as how Phobos is having a pretty covering, but nothing intimidating that you need to get an early pipe for, then ideally I would like to see more initiation from Tavo, but all these items are so much more valuable than Spirit's items. Like Lycan has his Helm of the Dominator and Necro Book. That doesn't really mean very much right now. Venomancer is probably working his way to his 4-step. That doesn't mean very much. Kaya for Storm Spirit is probably the biggest spike, but same thing. It's not that important.
We're top for just a moment to maybe go on an FNG, but now the rotation comes through from the Lycan, so Team Spirit are looking to turn this around. They do have the ability to do so with a good rolling boulder smash on HFN, but it's definitely a tough kill to get on this Phantom Lancer. He's able to just really get his way out. He has good escape mechanisms, can get him away from the side of Team Spirit early.
And Ancient Apparition has hit level 6 now, so Ice Blast is available, and you have to spend a handful of time killing one target. Chances are an Ice Blast is going to possibly more follow-up from Queen of Pain. Up, and if they can find HFN.
FNG, he leads the charge, but there's the doppelganger out just for a moment. The boulder smash does hit with ILTW with the ball hanging forward. They've got the sounds coming through onto this Phantom Lancer. They'll get the kill. The Ice Blast doing nothing. Tavo comes through thinking about a black hole, but he's already lost his Phantom Lancer. There's no reason to throw one down and no longer have that damage dealer in the Phantom Lancer. They still look to re-engage. You take a look over as Tavo's still coming over, looking for the black hole. There's the Burrow Strike that's going to hit onto the Witch Doctor. Vivor's taken on the sidelines by weehaw. They've got 2 heroes here. Tavo still holding that black hole for now, not looking like he's going to need it. Now they've got 2 kills here for weehaw, and now they look for more on Illidan. The snare comes out. The Wolves trying to do enough damage to King RD, make sure that Burrow Strike can't hit. The blink on forward from weehaw finally goes down is King RD, and the chase is on. They've got the Shadow Strike on Illidan, but this is now, without their stunner, no longer a chase.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Storm Spirit also manages to pick up a solo kill on Ancient Apparition that freshly completed Kaya. Yeah, there was only one TP scroll available on the side of paiN Gaming, and it was the Sand King. Ideally, Phantom Lancer usually survives long enough. Like, as soon as he goes for that doppelganger, then everyone should start rotating the top lane, because you win a fight more often than not. But unfortunately, weehaw had to just blink way up there, Enigma had to walk his way up there, and Phantom Lancer does go down. Slight retribution. Doctor and
weehaw going towards that Orchid, getting pushed closer with that double kill over top. He's looking at that, and then of course you've got the Battle Fury here for the Phantom Lancer. So HFN might sit back a little bit more and farm those next couple of items.
None of these South American players ever put anything in their quick buy. Like, once upon a time, casters didn't have access to it, and we had to do a lot of theorizing, and more often than not, it was incorrect. But then, you got quick buy, and it made life a whole lot easier. I see a single Blade of Alacrity in Phantom Lancer's inventory, but like, you know, Yasha, who knows?
Yasha in a mana style.
All right, I'm on board with that. They can purge this off.
And they're going to look over bottom. They've got the Geomagnetic Group to silence some of it, as well as the cast. The Ice Blast comes in again too late. ILTW with another kill here on HFN. Spirit, they're able to shut down HFN again.
Viver's doing an exceptional job, and that may be part of the reason why he's considering a Mantis off first, being able to purge off that geomagnetic grip silence, and then proceeding to continue evasion, because he's just getting bursted down so fast that no one on paiN Gaming is really willing to rotate. Everyone's just like, yeah, you're dead. I mean, I'll toss an Ice Blast if it helps, but it's probably not going to help.
More often than not, it doesn't.
Now top lane, Tavo's getting hassled by Lycan, but Midnight Pulse.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So what seemed to be a really good start for paiN Gaming is starting to crumble in their face, and what do they really need to do to regain their confidence, regain their advantage?
It's up to Phantom Lancer. He could start fighting at this point because he's getting crowd controlled because Team Spirit have no one else better to crowd control. Like, he's just farming by himself. Obviously, Spirit are going to pour everything into him, but if Weehaw, Queen of paiN, and the HFN Phantom Lancer are in the same lane, then who do you prioritize? You only have a limited number of crowd control, and both of these heroes are very mobile, and both of them deal a ton of damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So instead, they're just going to send these heroes.
Yeah, they show over mid. They get the rolling boulder to come on through, as well as Leo's coming out from FNG. They're trying to get the Ice Blast to hit onto Vibber. They get the kill, and the Sonic Wave comes out to follow that up too. And it just seems like they sent Vibber in there to kind of die, and now it looks as though it's also going to be the Witch Doctor who goes down. So these two heroes that come over from Team Spirit end up both dropping pretty easily.
Yeah, this time Queen of paiN soaks up a fair amount of damage and almost dies, but retreats. Maldic does not finish her off, and then HFN finishes with the cleanup job. But well done by Spirit. They don't really send either of their cores into that fight. They do lose the mid tier 1, but Storm Spirit gets a little bit more damage on the bot tier 2 and completes a Yule's off, and Lycan in the meanwhile has quietly made his way to a Necrobook 3. So both of these cores can, like, at this point they can now start making space for each other. Initially it was Storm Spirit making space for the Lycan, and that has successfully paid off, and then Storm Spirit found some space for himself with these solo picks on Ancient Apparition and whatnot. But now Lycan's going to be pushing one lane, and Storm Spirit's ideally going to get picks.
They've got the Blink Dagger as well as the Black Hole, and the Ice Blast to follow it up. There's the epicenter from King RD to get the kill on Illidan. They were setting up and posturing for that for quite some time as they saw Illidan continue to push over top, and they get that easy kill on the Lycan.
I want a little bit more. King RD has now completed that Blink Dagger. Tavo did indeed go for initiation Blink Dagger, and now Viver.
Viver in a bit of trouble as well as on the back line. The Motor Smash comes out. You take a look over at the Storm Spirit, continuing to zip-zap his way around. The ultis drop out by FNG. They look for the Burrow Strike coming through from King RD to try and get this kill. And now they move on forward. TK Phobos drops down the OT. HFN goes down as well as King RD. They look over at ILTW getting low. There's the Yule's out. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it away. No cask available. Tavo comes in, but there's the Geomagnetic Grip. The Ice Blast will come in, and it's going to hit onto DK Phobos as well as FNG, but they're going to lose Weehaw. They might even lose Tavo, but just able to TP out, and Duster falls as well. So 4 dead on the side of paiN Gaming, and like Team Spirit are that upset about losing their Storm.
Man, Viver is godlike this game. That Magnetize into Geomagnetic Grip completely disrupted the whole fight. Normally Storm Spirit is not going to be able to get away with that kind of maneuver at this stage of the game, right into paiN Gaming's face, especially when you have to deal with all the burst damage from the Queen of paiN, all the rushing from Phantom Lancer. But all these silences, Storm Spirit was able to get a few seconds of unimpeded damage and comes out on top. He dies in the end, but Homie doesn't have a Bloodstone yet. He knows that his job is to throw his body in. As long as he gets some kills and it's the overall exchange, then they're coming out just fine.
Well, as Vibber are going to smoke up, they head on over into Roshan, but these illusions from HFN immediately spot him up.
There's no medallion, so this isn't the fastest Roche. And there's an Ice Blast available coming in.
Doesn't look at the moment, at least, that
it's about to time out though. Yeah.
if they try to go in, they're sitting around the stairs thinking about threatening. You take a look over at the Illidan as well as the ball lightning that comes on through, but silence up is the Storm Spirit in a lot of trouble. The chase is on from Illidan as he continues on forward, trying to get the kill on Tavo. Tavo gets taken out as well as ILTW with the Sonic Wave coming out from Weehaw. The Manic Lights on a couple of these heroes. You take a look at King RD, he drops as well. It's a 2 for 3 right now with a buyback coming out from this Ancient Apparition.
That was a overzealous buyback. He didn't have Ice Blast, but maybe they just really want to secure this Roche. Like, Lycan is still up, but he doesn't have Necrobook, and...
Ooh, blink forward with the silence out here onto DK Phobos. FNG, the Ice Blast takes him out. And now the backline Illidan's coming back in, as well as DK Phobos with the ulti dropped on an HFN. The cast bouncing around onto Duster. And just not seemingly enough for Team Spirit, but I don't know if even paiN Gaming are going to be able to finish off this Roche with Team Spirit threatening.
For some reason, HFN is backpacking his Blade of Alacrity.
Nicely done to get those lows the last hit, and that is another great play from Bivver with that Earth Spirit.
Well, the exchange continues. Now this time Spirit goes into the pit. Enigma has respawn now, but he does not have a blink. I mean, he does not have a TP scroll available. So the chipping process continues. Storm Spirit, I mean, Sand King does have a Blink Dagger Epicenter, but he's not going to go for it.
Ooh, Blink Burrow Strike, that's going to hit onto ILTW, but I don't know about this. Not a lot more to really do from King RD, as he will be taken out by the side of Team Spirit. And they do pick up the Aegis on ILTW, and then get themselves another kill fed their way by paiN.
Weehaw is not really having the impact that I was expecting. He has his Orchid completed, but I guess problem is that he's having to initiate and his Sand King is taking more of a backseat. Either that or Spirit are just being too aggressive. Like Storm Spirit moved up to the high ground with the Ancients, and then paiN followed up very quickly, and they were able to silence off the Enigma in the beginning of that Roche engagement. And then after that, paiN Gaming were kind of scrambling. The thing is that you just need to send Sand King in first. Epicenter or no, as long as Sand King can create the chaos, then you let Wee pick and choose who he can Orchid. But if Wee goes first, then he's definitely going to go down.
Looks like paiN Gaming might think about defending here. They've got Tavo. He does have that Blink Dagger, of course, to work with. Possibly going for the Black Hole. Ball lightning forward is ILTW. But still on the top of these steps are paiN Gaming. They're just kind of waiting. They know they can concede the tier 2. It's not exactly the worst problem for them.
Yeah, and now they have Black Hole up. That was another big issue of their apprehension. Not only was paiN getting successful silences, but Enigma just wasn't able to get a Black Hole off because down. And a full pipe completed for Phobos. Well, I told you, he's consistent. He can get bullied all day long in the offlane and still come out with solid net worth.
And he finds his farm no matter what, and they're actually threatening over towards these stairs to go over on HFN. There's the rolling boulder as well as the geomagnetic grip. The Burrow Strike comes out on ILTW, going with the ball lightning. That's going to stun him up for just a moment. On the back end of this fight, you take a look as Weehaw gets low. They'll take out King RD. There's the Black Hole coming through, but it's just not going to be enough. Weehaw drops as well. They look over at Tamo. The chase is on from ILTW, continuing on forward, but there's the Aegis going to be gone. The rolling boulder comes through, and they will kill off Tamo. They've also got themselves a kill on Duster. And HFN able to just stay away from that fight and keep his life, but I don't think that's even a good thing. I think they might have wanted him to be in there a little bit more.
Oh my god. The more he gets in there, the more paiN's just gonna dance all over him. paiN is crushing at this game. That boulder smash after the grip, like, Sand King saw an opportunity for a 2-hero burst strike. He went for it. Then Queen of paiN approached from the exact same angle. They all lined up to get bowled down by boulder smash, 3-man stun, that Enigma Black Hole only managing to catch out one. ILTW was just on the fringe of it, and whenever he came down from the Yules, he wasn't included. And as soon as Enigma saw that, he canceled the Black Hole, tried to evacuate, but damage was already done. And Spirit coming out looking strong right now, taking a full set of racks at 22 minutes.
There's the double back to the Diffusal Blade, so not the Manta style that I thought it might be.
I don't know, with all these silences from paiN, I feel very scared if I'm a Phantom Lancer right now.
Seems to be playing against this Phantom Lancer perfect every single time, and that's how Team Spirit are benefiting in these fights.
Yeah, so the flip side is that maybe at this point you can start to bait HFN, because you know that Spirit have consistently initiated, and they spend a lot to make sure that Phantom Lancer can't get any spells off. It's always straight up roll into grip initiation onto the Phantom Lancer. That's 2 Earth Spirit spells down. So if you're aware of that kind of commitment, and you can kind of see that the backlines are going to come in soon after, which Storm Spirit's not easy to catch, but if you can catch the Venomancer before he force staffs, then you can start picking Spirit apart from the back to the front. Thing is that paiN Gaming are also down on the vision side. As I mentioned in the previous series, Lightning Wolves are invaluable for scouting things out. And seeing as how the supports from Spirit are so rich, they also have plenty of detection to make sure that paiN Gaming just can't get wards on their side of the map.
So what's the plan for paiN Gaming? Like, do they even have enough time to sit back here? Where do they farm? Where do they get their net worth boosted up?
They have team fight, and at any point the game can rapidly swing. If you land a Black Hole, land an Epicenter, Ice Blast, Sonic Wave, there are so many options to come back into this game, but it's initiation.
And so they get the ball lightning coming through. They're going to lock down this Ancient Apparition, already taking out Duster. It just seems like it's not going well by any front for the side of paiN Gaming, but as I say that, they almost get the kill on ILTW and continue on forward. King RD is stuck there with the Sandstorm. There's the Geomagnetic Grip as well as the Boulder Smash, but They're able to get just the Ancient Apparition for now. A little bit low is King RD, forced to go all the way back to the well, and they still don't have this black hole to work with. And DK Phobos gets the kill on to King RD in the well.
Yo, shout out to the dual pipe strat. Lycan with the pipe, blocking out 400 damage. And guess what? The stacking duration was removed in a recent patch. So let's throw on DK Phobos' other pipe on it. And what magic damage do you have? That epicenter? Yeah, I don't really care. Sonic Wave, that's pure damage. Sure, I'll take that. Midnight Pulse, that's pure damage. I'll take that too. But then where are you going to finish these targets off?
So in that fight over top, it just doesn't seem like paiN Gaming have an answer at all. The two pipes here with the damage that Team Spirit possess.
I don't think people have ever made answers for dual pipe strats before. I mean, you have, like, you know, physical damage is the ideal option, but the only physical damage dealer that's even capable, like, Queen of Pain can transition into one like later into the game, and Orchid is a relatively good item that kind of like bridges the gap because you can turn into a Bloodthorn. You're not fully committed to like a Veil or an Aghanim Scepter or stuff like that. You can still become a physical damage dealer if she wants to go for a Scotty or something like that, but that's going to come much later, and Spirit are going to continue pushing hard. They have this Lycan who's making his way to finish off a Assault Cuirass after this Queen of Pain. They're not going to let up the aggression anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's Team Spirit's kind of play, just being aggressive, playing at their own pace, playing the pace that they want to play in this game, and rolling all over their opponents. And they always, you know, even when they lose, it looks like their game plan is always threatening to the other side, to the point where you never even know if they're going to lose at that point, if that makes sense.
Spirit are unpredictable, but at the end of the day, like, they have a very organized playstyle. I never really see these heroes getting picked off, and now Storm Spirit.
Storm Spirit with the ball lightning is going to be immediately silenced. There's Vio coming out, and Bibber with that geomagnetic grip, and they've got the black hole coming out on ILTW with HFN trying to do enough damage at the moment, but I don't know if he's able to clean up enough. They do kill him off, but he's got 13 seconds until he comes back up with the Bloodstone. They continue on forward. They take out the Tavo. They take out Ancient Apparition as well. So 2 dead. No buyback here for paiN Gaming and HFN. He's very low. I don't know if he even wants to re-engage on this. The Sonic Wave comes out over the top. The Dire Courier is going to go down. They buy back on HFN. He's taken out by Bibber. And over bottom, they continue on forward. The Orchid comes through from onto DK Phobos, but they just have nothing to protect this base. You look over at Lehigh. He's already forced all the way back. The cast hits right on the stairs, but where do you defend? There's nothing you can do. You're down all these racks. Only one standing is 1/2 over top, but it just looks like Team Spirit are going to finish off this game and go and move on and eliminate paiN Gaming. Take a look at Weehaw trying to come in again, and now the Burrow Strike comes out as on the backline is Weehaw, but not doing enough. Again, HFN drops, King RD drops, and Weehaw the only one alive with the Ancient Apparition left to try and make something happen. It doesn't look like he's going to make it back to the base, but just steps over the stairs as they do lose all their racks, go to Mega Creeps, and GG is called.
Freaking Viper, man. What a player. What a goddamn player. That was amazing Earth Spirit performance. Team Spirit had no right coming back so strongly that early into the game. I thought if Spirit were going to come back, it was going to be off ILTW getting tons of Bloodstone charges, recovering exceptionally well, Lycan split pushing, something like that. But Viper was like, no. You leave it to me. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to get boulder smashes all day long. Weehaw's never going to even have a chance to play this game if I get my way.
So it was 2 3-man silences as well.